What's up, people? Look, I have a message for you guys tonight. My message tonight is going to be called Love Over Hate. I'm going to be out here doing these videos, trying to, spread a little message. And yes, I am scripted. I try to do a pre-recording because I don't want to get off on my points. So I apologize if the reading is a little stagnant until I get a little bit better at this. So, you know, I hope that you really enjoy the message tonight. It's called Love Over Hate. I want to share an experience with you today. Before I start, a couple rules I want to kind of point out. I'm all 100% on game for comments, but keep the comments respectful. If you're going to debate about a certain topic, keep the debate respectful. Be able to agree to disagree. I don't want anybody commenting on this in a negative, hateful way. That's not part of what I'm trying to encourage. I'm not trying to promote division. That is not what this is about. I will be talking about multiple different issues, but each issue garners a level of respect for one another. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to put out here. I don't even know what I'm going to call my segments, but this one is Love Over Hate. And I'm kind of new to this, so, be patient with me. And with that being said, let me get started. So this morning, I was driving to work. I encountered an older guy. It's probably somewhere in his 70s or 80s, and I was making a right turn. And my eyes kind of met his eyes, and his face just turned like it just was like he gave me this really evil look, like I was just the worst person he's seen, and it was kind of shocking. I was like taken back by it, and I mean it was like, what are you doing in this area? That's why are you around? That's the kind of look I got from him, and it was an eerie look. But being me, I smiled, raved, and I said a little prayer just so that he can have a good day. And if he's dealing with anything, that God be with him. Unfortunately, I am used to dealing with these type of things, and being looked at a certain way. But I just shrug it off, and and I usually just try to keep a smile on my face and pray for people. However, the closer I got to work, it happened again. Again, another white man closer to my age, and he was flagging traffic, and he was smiling at everybody, and waving. I'm like, oh, okay, he seems pretty joyful. Then he looked at me and looked at my car, had my window down, and his smile instantly went to this place of like disgust and disdain for me, and it was eerie. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's something on me today. Like, am I looking at these people crazy or something? But I mean, if looks could kill, I tell you guys, I'd have been dead behind my driving wheel today. Okay, it was just that bad. Again, I smile, I wave, I pray, and hope that he has a good day. The second encounter though was not that easy to dismiss. It was harder to dismiss, and I began to wonder, like, why are these people looking at me with such hate and discontent, despite never having met me or spoke to me? They don't know about my character, education, or background, or disposition, yet they so easily judge me with hatred before they even consider being kind or have a conversation with me. This is kind of an issue that I'm seeing in our society now. Just it's so much division, so much hate. Just over different ideologies, and we just can't agree to disagree. And we're judging people before we get to even sit down and talk to that person and really understand their heart set. And I think that works both ways. This isn't even a black or white issue. It's a human issue. Why are we so quick to judge and hate rather than love? That's really the question. Why are we quick to judge than accept, and we would rather reject than to take the time to actually know someone and understand them, despite our differences? it's really, really concerning. My mom is always a big advocate of, you know, seeing people as people, and she preaches that to me on a constant daily basis. Even as I struggle with my own personal biases at times, and I'm aware of that, and to be aware is to be alive, someone said, and I'm aware of where I fall short, so I can make the appropriate changes. I'm not going to dismiss any type of knowledge or criticism being given to me because I can't grow if I do. So I'm always working toward trying to be better and trying to, really address those biases of my own. I'm going to share a couple of stats with you. Um, and I'm going to try to take my time and go through them so you can kind of really get the understanding of them. The reason that I'm sharing these stats is to express that we all go through different levels of discrimination, some more than others, but it's not to say that what a person goes through is more than or less than another. I can't say that until we experience things, how we take it ourselves. On the surface, it might seem more drastic than others, but you don't know what a person is emotionally going through. And sometimes, one person once said, we look at things in such a logical way that we forget to understand that people's emotions are valid. How they perceive life and how they perceive the world is truly important to them, and we have to take time to be empathetic to that plight. I mean, even in our relationships, personal relationships, I think we can struggle with that sometimes, to really take the time to empathize and be empathetic to our partner's emotional needs, and we all need to be emotionally validated, whether you want to admit to that or not. So same thing comes to discrimination. So I'm going to go through a plethora of facts real quick. All right. So for instance, a survey from the Pew Research Center found that 80% of African Americans believe, 80% of Americans believe that there is at least some discrimination against Black people. This discrimination manifests in various ways, from receiving poor services at stores or restaurants to being treated with less courtesy and respect. Additionally, everyday acts of racism, such as being subjected to derogatory comments or being treated as less intelligent or trustworthy, are common experiences for Black individuals. All right. Now, we kind of, I'm not going to hit that one too much over the head because we know what Black discrimination is. I mean, whether you want to open your eyes to it or not, you really do kind of know what that is. So we're going to talk about why white people feel discriminated. So white people feel discriminated in the workplace, employment discrimination. Some white individuals report experiencing reverse discrimination in the hiring and promotions due to affirmative action policies. This is a topic of ongoing debate and research, with various studies and reports discussing the impact of affirmative action on different racial groups. For example, a study by the Center for Equal Opportunity discusses the perceived reverse discrimination faced by white individuals. Now, whether or not that's true is subjective. Okay, I'm not here to debate that. That's just what I read. But that's how they feel. They feel that they are not, and I've actually written in Ubers and different things and had some very interesting conversation from my white brothers and sisters that talk about feeling like they don't get the jobs that they might feel like they're qualified for due to affirmative action. And my feeling is, if I don't have affirmative action, then I might not get the jobs I'm qualified for either. So I think it's kind of hard to really find balance on that issue, but it happens. That's how they feel, and it's valid, and they need to and I think that needs to be discussed and validated to some degree. But like I said, that is facts. That's the research. That's what's out there. Hispanic and Latino population. So they experience what they call language discrimination. Many Hispanic individuals have been criticized for speaking Spanish in public or having been told go back to their home country. A report from the Pew Research Center highlights that the experience of Hispanic Americans face discrimination based on language and immigration status. Well, we know that's all over the news these days. So, I mean, we can't say it's not true because, I mean, it's literally on any news outlet you see. Also, police violence. According to the data from the Mapping Police Violence Project, Latinos are almost twice as likely to be killed by police compared to white individuals. All right, just reading the stats. I'm not here to debate. That's just, I'm being objective about that, and I'm trying to be inclusive and understanding that everybody is experiencing something on some level. And of course, our next population is my Asian brothers and sisters. All right, so we all remember the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. That was a significant example of institutionalized discrimination, barring Chinese immigrants from entering the United States. This historical event was well documented in various history texts and government archives. Then, moving to present day, COVID-19 related to discrimination during COVID-19 pandemic. There was a notable increase in anti-Asian hate crimes and discrimination. The Center for the Study of Hate and Extremist reports a significant rise in anti-Asian hate crimes in major U.S. cities in 2020. It's funny because, we always address discrimination so separately. We never address discrimination as a whole. And I think that's why we lose a lot of ground on getting bills passed. Because when you're trying to get a bill passed for one specific group, it becomes every other group feels like it's unfair. And I get it. There does, but when we're coming together as a whole and saying, hey, we're tired of discrimination, period, no matter what racial, ethnic, or religious background we're coming from, and we want to get these bills passed, you're going to get a lot more support. We need to have joint efforts in being able to really address these issues and have really good, open, and honest conversation about what everybody's going through. You can't ban books on history if we're expressing everybody's history, And I get it, we're trying to be these silo committees, and it's important for identity. I get that, but also in order to push those individual silo ideologies, you have to include and incorporate the other siloed cultural backgrounds. So then you can create a coalition of equality to be able to get past a lot of this discrimination. They don't want to see that. That's why you're going to constantly see things being elevated over other cultures. And I'm just speaking from what I've seen. This is just my opinion. Okay, take it or leave it. But there's one more group I want to introduce too, statistically as well. Now, Middle Eastern brothers and sisters in America. Post 9/11 backlash, we all familiar with that. Following the 9/11 attacks, individuals of Middle Eastern descent faced increased hate crimes, discrimination, and racial profiling. The FBI's annual hate crime statistic report showed a spike in anti-Muslim hate crimes in the following years of 9/11. Again, can't deny it. These are facts. We've seen it. Been on the news. You can look it up. It's out there. These are truths. Whether we want to acknowledge them or not, I'm not, like I said, it's not up for debate. It's just, research that I'm presenting. Workplace harassment. Middle Eastern individuals often face workplace harassment, including unwelcome remarks or conduct based on their perceived religion, national origin. The Equal Opportunity Commission, EEOC, provides data on workplace discrimination complaints, including those based on a national origin and religion. So those are the stats that I wanted to present. Sorry for babbling over them a little bit. But the reason, like I said, the reason I'm presenting those again is because we all face levels of discrimination. Every single one of us at one time or another. You know, uh, I mean, uh, the Polish, went through something when they came over here. We all know about the Jews and the Holocaust. Um, you know, uh, Italians. I mean, you name it. Every single person has went through something historically. And the sooner we realize that we are all people, all human, and all have our individual plights that really can work, we can really fight against as a whole. If we come together, the better society will be. We have to learn to start loving each other where we are, accepting each other for where we are. I don't have to be a fan of salad to accept you to come eat at my dinner table. I can eat my burger and I can order you a salad or make you a salad. That does not mean that we need to be on the opposite sides of a fence. I could be 100% connoisseur. You could be 100% vegan. That's no reason to hate you. And that's literally how silly, racial discrimination or discrimination as a whole is if you take something that simple, and we always, me and my wife, we always tease each other about Android and iPhone, but, I have my preference. She has her preference. That's still my wife. I still love her. I don't care about the phone. Okay. I like it because it's fun. It's something to poke fun at. And, we have our fun with it and, and we keep it moving, but we also acknowledge, and let's just take that for example. Samsung has its strengths. Apple has its strengths. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. I favor certain strengths about the Samsung phone. She favors certain strengths about the Android phone. The Apple phone, and that's good. That is her preference. I respect her preference. She respects mine, and that's the same thing with life. There are so many different ways of living and being, and we can't simply respect each other's preference. We can't respect each other's way of living. We can't love each other no matter where we're coming from. We always have to be in this silent competition with one another and this need for ethnocentric superiority. It boggles me. But anyhow, I digress. I'm going to kind of get to the conclusion because I don't want to bore you guys too long. The mindset is like 20 minutes. I'm already at 17:56, so I want to cut this a little short. But at the end of the day, we all have our own valid perceptions and of life's unfairness. And until we really take the time to listen to one another and truly empathize with each other's struggles, past, present, or future, we will remain in this state of discord. And not just the state of discord, but conflict, friction, hostility, disagreement, dissension. I'm not here to judge, as I am constantly working on my own biases based on my own lived experiences. However, I am able to take accountability and acknowledge when I am wrong but I am making the effort to change. Both sides of the political spectrum claim to be rooted in faith to some degree. Yet each side is making it harder to love thy neighbor. If we truly follow God, we should not judge or condemn. Even if you don't follow God, I know y'all believe in a basic law of humanity, right? So we shouldn't be judging and condemning people. We should let our hearts be filled. We shouldn't let our hearts be filled with hate, nor for our fellow brothers and sisters of all racial, ethnic backgrounds. It really is just time to stand on love. I'm going to say that one more time. It really is time to stand on love and leave hate behind. That's a message for tonight. I hope you learned something. Follow me, like, share. I'm out.